Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I am going to be playing a game of Relicblade. Now, you probably have already, or you may have already watched one of my videos. It's the Relicblade solo campaign called Catacombs of Corral. This takes place underground and I am running a solo game of this. It's 4 scenarios that make up the whole campaign, and I'm just about ready to release the next one in this campaign. But for those of you who don't know, Relicblade, when it came out, it's really a 2-player game, player versus player. One player plays the adversary, one player plays the advocate. Those are the 2 sides that are warring in this land. In the book by Sean Sutter, there are a number of scenarios that are meant to be played player versus player. There's no rules for solo. However, when Sean released this book, he gave an example of how possibly that these games could be run. Now, there's a lot of ways you could run a solo game. You could create your own charts that determine how the enemy moves and things like that. There are other war games that you could incorporate into that, but I thought I liked Sean's mechanism for determining who goes first in a turn, and so I have taken what he calls his activation chart and I have modified it to fit the first scenario called Ancient Waystones. So in this video, you're going to get to see me play Ancient Waystones solo. Now, I am going to be starting per the campaign rules with 75 influence. Influence points are what you can use to buy your different soldier types. And what I'm trying to do is also pick the bad guys, my opponent, and get them as close to 75 as I can. So I hope you enjoy this. I welcome your feedback. Let me know if you want to see more of them. I really had a fun time playing the first game, so I definitely think I'm going to update another one. I don't know if I'll do them in order or just jump around, but definitely welcome your feedback. One thing, however, somehow, some way during the recording of this, it's going to switch from high definition to like low definition, or just not all that great a video. It's not your computer. It was something with my recording system. I don't know why it did it. It's never done that before. I'm hoping to figure out what went wrong. So I do apologize. At some point, the quality of the video may change a little bit and it get a little fuzzy, but the game still plays to the end and I hope you enjoy it. All right, let's play some Relicblade. On the board, there are 3 Waystones. They're 8 inches apart. The object of the game is to activate them. You get in base contact with them, you roll a d6, and on a 5 or higher, you're able to activate the stone. First team to get to 5 activations wins the game. The loser does get some secondary prizes, but you really do want to win. I'll be tracking the battle pigs and my warband using dice once they get any stones activated. Now, a few other things. There are 4 battle pigs in the warband, and my team is starting with just 3 warband members. They're a little bit more expensive. Total price to add them up is 75 points. It was 74, so I got an upgrade card that allows the lone guard commander to have a stone rune, which prevents him from losing dice when he's critically wounded. We'll explain that rule when it gets to it. So this adds up to 75. The 4 pigs add up to 66, a 9-point deficit. So what I've written in the rules for this particular solo scenario is for every 2 points that you are over your enemy, they get 1 action die, a bonus action die added to what's called the enemy action die pool. I'm going to flip to the dice camera and show you. I've put 4 in there. You round down, not up. Round down. So there are 4 to start, and these 4 dice can be added to my enemy's dice pool at various times in the game. The activation chart will explain when those get used. The action dice pool can go down to 0, but there are things in the activation table that will cause you to add dice to it, so it kind of keeps them buffed. Now, the way this game works is it doesn't go one of my heroes that goes, then one of the bad guys goes. One of my heroes goes, one of the bad guys goes. It doesn't go back and forth quite like that. Instead, there's different phases. There is a hero phase, is what I'm calling it. There's the enemy phase. There is the recovery phase for those soldiers that fall in combat down to 0 health. And then there's a cleanup phase. Now, during the hero phase, my heroes don't just move right off from the bat. What I do is I pick a hero, I move them, but before I move them, I roll a single D6 and I consult the activation chart. On the activation chart, there are 6 possibilities. A 5 or 6 means that my hero will get to take their turn right away, no waiting. However, on a 1 or a 2, the enemy has certain things that will happen where they'll get to move before me. And then on a 3 or 4, there's another option that we'll get into when that's rolled. And trust me, it will get rolled. What else? Okay, the enemy, when they move on my turn during the hero phase, that does not count against them in the enemy phase. Once the enemy phase comes, they will get to roll to do their actions just like normal. The difference is I don't have an activation chart to roll to see if I get to interrupt their move. All right, and then finally, since the purpose of the game is to activate these stones, you can see they're lined up here. There's one right in the middle here. The pigs are also trying to activate it, but being the enemy, they want to kill me and do damage to the village. So they will always make one attempt to activate a stone on their turn when they are within 3 inches of a stone. Now, if I'm within, say, 6 inches, but they're within 3 inches, they will still try to activate before they move to me to get in combat. The only time they will go out of their way to target me before they try to activate a stone is when I'm closer than that 3-inch range. Other than that, they have to roll a 5 or 6 to activate the stone as well. First 1 to 5 wins, and that is how this game will be played. What I'd like you to do, if you can, is download the PDF for this solo Waystone scenario so that you can follow along. However, I will be putting the cards for my heroes and the bad guys up on the screen early in the game so I can reference the information on each card so that you can sort of learn to play the game. Over time, the use of throwing the cards up on screen will diminish as you get used to how many action dice, for example, the Lone Guard commander has. I won't have to keep repeating that. What else? For the bad guys, I'll do that as well. And then, I think that's it. Oh, the activation chart. I will also throw the activation chart up on screen so that you can reference the dice rolls when they occur. All right, that is all for the basics of the game. It is time to get started. Let me do a little bit of cleanup here on the desk so I have some room, and we'll get started. All right, let's play some Relicblade. All right, I have the battle pig set up on this side. My guys are over here in this corner. 3 Waystones are 8 inches apart, and it is time to go. I am going to choose to have my Lone Guard commander go first. He has a move of 3, and he gets 5 action dice. But, as I said, this is not a back and forth game. When I choose who I'm going to activate, I then have to roll a d6 to determine the action that will happen on that turn, whether I get to go or the bad guys get to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this d6, and I rolled a 6. So I will get to go first, and I am going to, I'm going to go ahead and move, well, he gets his 5 dice. Let's go ahead and put those in here. And by the way, there are 4 dice in the action or the enemy action die pool that can be used to buff up the bad guys. All right, with these 5, let's go ahead and do 1 to move 5 inches right towards this stone. And now I have 4 dice left. I am so far away from them, I'm not worried about combat right now, so I don't need to spend one on getting a dodge token. We'll cover dodge tokens when that comes up during combat, if it does, which it should. Instead, I could take 4 attempts to try to activate this stone. So let's just do it in order. An activation happens on a 5 or higher. I got a 3, which fails. Let's try again. He is going to try to activate. I got it. All right, so now that I've activated a stone, I'm going to use a green die to track the number. I'm going to put that here. It has a number 1 to indicate that I have activated a stone, and he has 2 left. I am really going to try to split them up. I want to try to draw them in different directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 1 die to move 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll get him to 4, and I'll move 5. And I'm going to move 3, and then 2, put him right about here. I am going to try to keep my party sort of separated so I can maybe taunt them or pull them apart, and so they don't gang up on one particular person. All right, that is the end of the Lone Guard Commander. He went, so now I'm going to choose, let's choose the Bounty Hunter. Now, one other thing, I'm going to indicate that this stone has been activated by putting this little red marker here. A stone can only be activated once per turn. So on the next turn, I could try to reactivate this again, which right now, none of my guys could get to this center one, I don't think. Well, let's try. Let's do the Bounty Hunter. First, I need to roll the D6 to see what happens. I rolled a 1, which is not good. Okay, on a 1, if you consult the activation chart, I'm going to throw it up on screen, a lot of things happen. First off, I add an action die to the pool, and 1 random enemy will trigger, and they will get 1 die that they can add, or bonus die from the action pool, to get them moving. It's not really going to help because they're so far away from me that they're going to move within 3 inches of a stone, so they're really going to end up trying to activate it. So let's see which enemy activates. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the back here as 1, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let me roll this 8-sided die. I rolled an 8, which is the guy in the back. Okay. Oh, no, it's this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my Shield Pig. I will throw the Shield Pig card up on screen, and you will see that he has 3 action dice. But he gets a bonus one, and I'm going to use a blue one to indicate the bonus. That one can be used for the move action. He will spend 2 to get to the stone. He can move 4, and this is not quite 4 ways, so he'll move as far as he can, but to stay in contact with the stone. He'll spend the action, he has one die in addition to his action die. He'll try to activate on a 5 or 6. He does. Ooh, he activated it. All right, so I'm going to track it with a red die with a 1. First 1 to 5 wins. And then with his last action die, he will start moving towards me. He's going to move 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is right, it's about halfway, right about there, a little closer to this stone. And he is done. So now I get to move back to my Bounty Hunter. Now, he's out in the open, and she has 4 dice. She could take a shot if she can get within range to see him. She only moves 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 3 inches right here. She can see through this stone to see him. She's going to use 2 dice with her crossbow attack. I'll put the card up on the screen. The crossbow, actually the crossbow has a range of 12, so I don't think she can do it. That's 8. No, she cannot. Never mind. So let me redo that. She cannot get in range to shoot. Although, if she moves twice, she could. Twice would get her there. But I really don't want to. You know what? I'm going to spend all of her action dice. All of them. I'm going to spend 1 to move her 3 inches this way. Right there. I'm going to spend another to move her 3. 1, 2, 3. She's coming around the side of the house here. Let's see if I can show it to you. She's going to do another one to move another 3, which puts her right. 1, 2, 3. And then she'll move her final one. 1, 2, 3. She's right around the corner here, so she can see him. And he is actually closer to her than this guy. And that is the end of her movement. So hopefully maybe she'll get to take a shot at him sooner or later. And that is the end of her turn. Now the last one is my Lone Guard Ranger. I'll throw his card up. Let's see what happens on his turn. A 3. Now a 3 is called a gamble. I am not within combat range of any of these guys, so I really can't do that. His longbow is range 3. He starts with 4 dice, so I'm not going to do any of those special abilities on the activation chart. Instead, remember, I want to spread them out, so I'm going to move him twice for a total of 6 inches. Let's see, where does that get him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It gets him right there. And I'm pretty sure he's not within 12. Let's see. That is 8. Oh, he might. He might. To right there. Let me draw a straight line to him. That's 8 to right there. 1, 2, oh yeah, he's within range. So he's going to get 1 shot. With his longbow, he needs to roll a 4 or higher. He does. Now, when you attack an enemy and you hit, you have to roll a d6 and you add the damage modifier. In this case, for the Lone Guard Ranger, his modifier is +3. So I rolled 6 and it's +3, so it's doing 9 damage. But the enemy or your opponent gets to roll a d6 and add their armor. He is the shield pig. He has 2 armor, if you look at the card. So I'm going to add 2 to this die. 4 + 2 is 6. 9 - 6 is 3 damage. The shield pig has 4 health. If you look at the card down at the bottom, there are 4 squares. 3 of those are checked off. So he has 1 health left, and he is critically wounded because that little bone is the 3rd health mark. So he will lose 1 action die on his turn until he is healed. So that was very good. He used 2, and he has 1 die left. So with this 1 die, what can he do? He has a hand weapon, but he's not within range, and he has no special abilities. So now notice the hunter gained +2 damage against a bound target. If I had gotten him bound, I could have added 2 and that would have killed him, but I don't have a way to bind the enemy right now. All right, so with this extra one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cash it in for a dodge token. I'm probably not going to be able to use that dodge token this turn because dodge tokens, they go away the next time a character activates. So they're really useful if an enemy attacks you before your next activation, you get to use it, and they help you avoid damage. I'm not going to explain it until we get to a dodge token being used, but just be aware it's helpful for helping you reduce the damage that you take. All right, that is the end of the hero phase. So now we move on to the enemy phase. And the way we do this, or the way I do it, is I start with the enemy that's closest to me, and then we'll go back there. So this enemy right here is the shield pig, and he has 3 dice, but he is critically injured. So he loses 1, which leaves him with only 2 dice. He is not within 3 inches of that stone. However, he's going to move to the closest enemy, which at this point is going to be him, which is 12 inches away, which is actually less than 12 inches. I'm pretty sure she is, yeah, she's definitely not as close as he is, just by maybe ½ an inch. So what he's going to do is with his 2, he will spend 1 to move 4 inches, and that puts him next to the stone. So he could try to activate on a 5 or 6, and he does do it. So now the enemy has 2 activations to my 1. He has 1 die left, and he is done. So I'm going to spin this around, and we're going to activate these other enemies. And remember, that one gets a little red thing here to indicate it was activated this turn. So at the end of the turn, those will go away and those stones can be activated again. Let's see, these 3 guys over here. So let's do the closest one, which is the soldier pig. I'll put his card up. He has 3 dice. He will use 2 to move in a straight line to get next to the stone, and he'll use his last stone to try to activate. He does not. All right, next will be this one right here, which is my destroyer pig. The destroyer pig, I'll put his card up on the screen. He has 3 dice. He'll use 2 to move next to the stone. Oops. And he'll try to activate on a 5 or 6. He fails. And then finally, the last one is my Berserker Pig. He has 3 dice, 4 movement, 1 armor. He will move, and he will try to activate. And he fails. I needed that. All right, it is now the recovery phase. Nobody was taken out of the game. When you are reduced to 0 health, your hero or the enemy becomes disabled. You tip their miniature over. They do not get a defense roll if they're attacked. But during the recovery phase, they can roll a d6. And on certain values, for most, it's a 6. They stand up with 1 health. Some of the pigs are tough, so they have recover on a 5 or 6. So we will have to remember that. All right, cleanup phase will involve me taking these tokens away. And it is 2-1, and it is now my turn. I'm going to have my bounty hunter go first, so she could take a cheap shot at him, hopefully, and hit him. So we need to roll to see what happens on her turn. I rolled a 3, which is a gamble. I am not going to do any of the special abilities on the activation chart. So instead, she gets her 4 dice. And I'm going to use 2 to try and hit him. He has 1 health. If I hit him, he's probably dead. I need a 4 or higher. I got a 9. How much damage? 3 plus 3 is 6. And then the enemy has, Shield Pig is 2 armor. 3 plus 2 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. He has 1 health, and so the Shield Pig is disabled. And I have 2 dice left. With these 2, I am going to... I'm going to move. I can move a total of 6 inches. So what I want to do is I want to try to go around them. So I'm going to move 6 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she is right here, right behind this building, and that is her turn. Now, I should have the Lone Guard because he could try to activate this. I'm going to activate the Lone Guard, so let's see what happens on his turn. Same thing, gamble. I'm not going to do any of the special features on that chart. So instead, with his 4 dice, I'm going to spend 1. He loses his dodge token, by the way, because he activated. I'm going to use 1 to move him back into base contact with the stone. And he's got 3 left to try to activate. On a 5 or higher, he fails. Next one, he does it. All right, so we're tied 2 to 2. And he has one left. I'm going to give him a dodge token. And that is the end of his turn. That leaves my Lone Guard Commander. The Lone Guard Commander will try to activate. Let's see what happens on his turn. I rolled a 1. Again, not good. They get 1 action die and 1 random. Now he's down, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, left to right, 6, which would be the Berserker Pig. He starts with 3 dice. He is next to a stone, so he will spin 1 to try to activate it. He rolls a 2. He fails. That leaves him with 2 dice to move, so he can move a total of 8. Yeah, 8. And that gets him to the next stone, all the way. And his turn is over. Now oh, by the way, he got 1 bonus die that could be used for a move action. He will not use it because his move got him... Well, you know what? That's not true. He would have seen him and moved 8. He moved 2, so he would have moved 8, which puts it right here. And then that final move would have done 4. So he's going right at me. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's coming at me right there. And that is the end of his turn. This is still not activated. So the next pig is the Destroyer Pig. He gets 3 dice. He's next to the stone, so he'll try to activate a 5 or 6. He fails. He gets... Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not enemy turn. It's my turn. he activated and got the aggression. So this guy moved. So now it is my Lone Guard commander who has 5 dice. And I can move and I'll get 3 attacks. Let's do it. I'm going to spend 1 to move him here. And then I'm gonna do Tireless Onslaught, and I'm just gonna beat on this guy. So on a 4 or higher, I hit. How much damage? 5 plus 4 is 9. This pig is got 2 armor. 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. He has 4 health, so the destroyer pig is disabled. That leaves me with 3 dice. I can move 3 inches, so it'll take 2 moves to get here, and I get 1 to try and activate. Oh, and this one got activated, and that one did not. Okay, so he moved, so they're going to get to do their activation at some point. Okay, let me think. I've got 3 dice. Excuse me. I started with 5. I used 1 to move and 1 to attack. Command. Target ally gains 1 action die during next activation. All right. He has a special feature called Command. If I roll a 2 or higher, it's a range 8, and he is within 8 of my Lone Guard Ranger, who's already gone this turn. But it says, target ally gains +1 AD during their next activation. So I'm going to try that. I need a 2 or higher. I got it. So I'm going to put a, what do I want to do? How do I want to mark that? I'm going to put a 1 on a white die next to him to remind me that he gets 1 extra action die on his turn. And then with 2 dice left, you know what? I'm going to attack him again because I can remove him from the game. When an enemy is disabled, they get no defense roll. So if you hit them again and you kill and you hurt them, they die. So I need a 4 or higher, and I got a 3. He's got 1 more die to attack. He can attack 3 times, and a 5 kills him. All right, that was good. I needed to remove an enemy. All right, that is all I can do on the hero phase. It is now the enemy phase, so I'm going to swing around here, and my 2 enemies will get to go. So let's do the closest one, who is my soldier pig. The soldier pig gets 3 dice. They are next to a stone, so they will try to activate on a 5 or higher. They got a 6, so they go up to 3 to my 2. First one to 5 wins, and with these 2 remaining, he can move all the way to this stone right there. And he is done. Now this, oh yeah, and I need to mark this as activated. And this stone has not been activated. So my final enemy is my, that was not the destroyer pig. That was the, yeah, it was. This is the berserker pig. They all kind of look the same, sorry. The berserker pig has 3 dice. He can't activate. He does see me over here, but this stone is on the way. I think he would still run and attack me because look, this one was over here, so his movement will take him by the time. This one is definitely closer. I'm going to move this tree real quick, which puts him right there. That's his 2 movement. And then his extra die moves him 4 inches, and that does not get him in base contact with me. Almost, but not quite. All right, that is the enemies have gone, and now it is recovery phase. There is 1 pig that is down, the shield pig. The shield pig, I'll throw his card up. You'll notice he has tough. He recovers on a 5 or a 6, so let's see what happens. I rolled a 1. He does not recover this turn. And that is the end of the recovery phase. During the cleanup phase, I will remove these icons. These stones can be activated again, and now it is turn number 3.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame Newsletter. Each week, the tabletop engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
Okay, time to get started on the next round. I just want to really quickly summarize what I got here. I've got 1 enemy's out of the game. I got 1 down. I've got 2 breathing down the neck of my Lone Guard Commander. The Lone Guard Ranger gets 1 extra activation die. She's sneaking around on the left. So let's see how this is going to play out. All right, first thing I want to do, I really want my Lone Guard Ranger to go first, because if he can win the activation, he might be able to take a shot off and kill this one, and then he can also do an activation of the stone, and he might be able to pull one of these away. Actually, he can pull this one. Well, not really. He's closer. Yeah, let's just see how this plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a d6 for the Lone Guard Ranger. Come on, 5 or 6. 3. All right. Again, I'm going to throw the activation chart up there. Now, this one I may use. It's called Gamble. My character will get to activate. However, they can take one of the following activating, or one of the special abilities, but doing so requires me to put dice in here, which this thing now has 5 in it, and I don't want it to get many more. Let's see. Taunt. Pick 1 enemy engaged. Well, I can't do that. No enemies are engaged. Sneak attack. Pick 1 enemy no more than 2 moves away. Well, this one is... he can only move 3, 6, and that is 8, so he can't do that either. So he's just going to have to take his action. He loses his dodge token because it's his activation, and I'm going to have him shoot. He gets, let's see, he gets 4 dice, but he also, remember, gets the bonus die from the commander, so 5 dice. My longbow hits on a 4. I'm going to hit him. Mainly because if I can hit him, he's out of the game. Unless he gets spawned again by a roll. So let's go ahead and let's talk about focus. Every one of my heroes can do what's called a focus action. A focus action, now let's say I'm going to attack with 1 die. I can choose to focus just once per turn, and that allows you to roll an extra action die and add the total. He hits on a 4 or higher with his longbow. I really want him to hit, so I'm going to do a focus action and try to roll higher than a 4, and I got a 6. That hits. He gets no defense roll, and so Shield Pig is dead. He still has 3 dice left. Now, he can only shoot his longbow once. He has a hand weapon, and he's got 2 movements as 6. I do not believe that will get him... I don't believe 6 inches, yeah, it will not get him there, but he could pull him. If he gets closer, he'll pull him, and I can get him a dodge token. This is tough. I am going to do it. I'm going to spend 1 die to move 3 inches, which puts him right here. He is closer to him than he is him. That's good. That's what I wanted. And I'm going to cash these in for 2 dodge tokens. You can only use 1 dodge token per attack, but I'm pretty sure that this guy is coming at me on his next turn. Now, what I should have done was activated, but I want to knock these guys out, and then that will give me the time to go and activate these stones. So what I can do now is maybe... she's my sneak attack. I want to keep her close by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to activate my bounty hunter. Let's see what happens on her turn. I rolled a 5. All right. So look at the activation chart on the screen. On a 5, she can go ahead and activate. However, she could do a cautious approach where she sacrifices 1 action die to toss a disabled ally bandage. I have no disabled allies. Or she can do a fearless assault. The activating character gains 1 bonus AD for an attack, but I have to add an AD to this one. I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and activate her. She has 4 dice. And with these 4, I'm going to spend 1 to move her out of hiding behind this tree. I don't think you can see this. She's right here. I'm going to move her 3 right to here. Now, she's got a range of 12, so she may have to move closer. I'm going to spend another 1 to move her 3 more inches closer. Right there. She's got 2 dice left, And with those 2, she could take a cheap shot at him, because I think he's within 12. That's 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so she's going to take a cheap shot. She may miss, but she hits on a 4 or higher. I rolled a 10. How much damage? 4 plus 3 is 7. And that is the Berserker Pig. He has 1 armor. 4 plus 1 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2 damage. He has 5 health. So he is down to 3 health. And she has used all her dice, so that is her turn. The last person to go is my lone commander here. I'm hoping he can roll a 3 or higher here. I rolled a 5. All right, so he could do a fearless assault. He gets 1 bonus AD, and he gets to add 1 to the pool. Now, why would I want that bonus AD? Because if I attack him, I'm going to be closer. I'm going to be much closer. And I've got 5 dice and 3 attacks to try and hit him. One of them's going to be a move. One will be a dodge. I really do need to get... this is a tough one. All right, I'm just going to activate. We'll see how this plays out. I get 5 dice, and I'm going to spend 1 to engage. Now, because when I engaged, I came into base to base. That's called a charge. I get a bonus die for that for an attack. I'm going to use that for my focus. He needs a 4 or higher. I rolled a 6, so that hits. How much damage? 1 plus 4 is 5. The enemy has 1 armor. 2 plus 1 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. He's down to 1 health. He also is critically injured. So he was already critically injured on his card with the broken bone. So he will be rolling 1 less die. But I'm going to finish him off because I get 2 more attacks against him with my tireless onslaught. So I need to roll a 4 higher. I missed, and I get 1 more attack. Come on, 4 higher. And I failed. All right. With my last die, I am going to take a dodge token. And that is going to be the end of my turn. All my heroes have gone. So now it is the enemy phase. All right. There are only 2 enemies left. This enemy is closer to him than him. So, but this one's engaged. So let's do this one first. Berserker Pig starts with 3 dice, but he's critically wounded, so he loses 1. He has 2 dice to attack. He has what's called a Carver attack. And if you look at the card, you'll see there's 2 attacks, Carver and Gore. But notice that Carver has the higher damage modifier of +3. That's the one you choose when you're playing solo. So he'll do a Carver attack. He needs a 4. He hit. How much damage? 2 plus 3 is 5. My Lone Guard commander has 2 armor. 2 plus 2 is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2 damage, but he has a dodge token. Now here's how the dodge token works. Remember, I rolled a 4 total, but you get to roll a bonus die to add to that. I rolled a 6. 10 beats 6, so no damage. But he has 1 more attack, and he misses with a 2. All right. This one right here is the Soldier Pig. He has 3. He will spend 1 to activate that thing. He fails. He will spend 1 to move 4 inches. That's a charge attack. He gets a bonus die because he became engaged with me. And the soldier wields a halberd, which is 2 dice. And now he has 2 dice. He needs a 6 or higher. He got a 7, so he does hit. It's a +5 damage modifier. 6 plus 5 is 11. That's the max damage he can do. Now remember, I have 2 dodge tokens. I'm going to spend 1. And I am going to roll 2 defense dice, and I get to add his armor of 1. I rolled a 5 plus 1 is 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. Unfortunately, Lone Guard Ranger has 5 health, so he is down. And that is the end of the enemy phase. It is now recovery phase. All right, recovery phase. I have a Lone Guard soldier who only recovers on a 6 or higher. Let's roll it. I failed, so he is still down. That means this guy's going to try to kill him if he gets a chance. Let's see. It is now my turn. I am going to... There were no activations that turn of the stone, so I don't do the cleanup phase. I need to kill this one before he activates. So I'm going to activate my bounty hunter. Let's see what happens on her turn. Do not roll a 1 or 2. I rolled a 3. Excellent. It's a gamble. I can taunt. Pick one enemy engaged. Now, technically, I guess he's not engaged. And I can't do a sneak attack because I'm more than 2 moves away. So she will just activate. She has 4 dice. I'm going to have her spend 2 to shoot him. She needs a 4 higher. I got a 4, barely. How much damage? 5 plus 3 is 8. And that is a halberd soldier. He has 1 armor. 2 plus 1 is 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. He only has 4 health, and he is down. She has 2 dice left. She is going to move both of those 6 inches. Is that 6 inches to him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. I think it is. Can't read it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite. She's almost there. She's going to run, and on her next turn, she'll try to finish him off. And she is done. Now, the only other player I have, or hero I have, is the Lone Guard commander. So let's see what happens on his turn. I rolled a 4, which is gamble. There's no taunting. I'm engaged. And I can't do a sneak attack because I need to sneak around him using those 2 moves. So he's just going to take his 5 dice and try to kill this guy. He's got 1 health left. All right. Let's go ahead and do a tireless onslaught. Let's do a focus. Let's kill him. I need a 4 or higher. I got a 9. How much damage? 5 plus 4 is 9. And he defends with 1 armor. 1 plus 1 is 2, and I take him down. Now, that does not mean it's the end of the game, because there's a recovery phase where they could stand up. However, with my Lone Guard having 3 dice, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack him again. I get 3 attacks. This is attack number 2. I need a 4 or higher. I got it. It knocks him out. And I have 2 dice. I can move and engage. I don't know if that counts as a charge since he's down, but I think it does. But I'll roll the lowest die, 1. If I roll a 4 or higher here, he is out of the game. I rolled a 2, so I missed. That is the end of the round. It is now recovery phase. I'm going to roll for my guy first. He needs a 6 to stand up. I rolled a 1, so he fails, and he lost his dodge token, by the way, his other one. This guy is the halberd. He's tough. He recovers on a 5 or 6, and he rolls a 5, so he pops back up with 1 health. 1 health. All right. And now I need to kill him. I don't want to roll a 1, which would require me to spawn an enemy. So who do I want to roll here? I'm going to have the Lone Guard do it because he gets the most dice. So what happens on his turn? I'm going to activate him. That's not what I wanted. Aggression. Spawn 1 random enemy. Well, there are 3 enemies out. So I'm going to start at the top and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the shield pig. They respawn at their starting point, which he'll start right back here. And then, if you look at the activation chart, spawn 1 random enemy, and that enemy triggers. Add 1 AD to the pool, but look below it. It says if unengaged, he is unengaged. He will get a bonus AD pool for a move only. So he gets 3 dice. That's my shield pig. And he gets the bonus die because I rolled the aggression and he's unengaged. He can use it for a move. So he'll use 2 to move. Probably broke. He moves to the thing. Let's see if he activates it. 5 or 6. He does not. And then he'll use his last die to move closer to me. He can move 4 inches. Which puts him right about here. Yeah, right there. Halfway. Okay, I gotta finish this guy off and I gotta get 3 more activations before they beat me. All right, so now my Lone Guard commander gets to activate. He has 5 dice. He does not get to charge because he was already engaged when this guy stood up. So I will just use 2 for a focus. I need a 4 or higher. He gets no defense roll. Remember, oh no, he does. He gets a defense because he's got 1 health. I rolled a 7, which hits. How much damage? 6 plus 4 is 10. That's the maximum damage, or almost. Yeah, maximum damage. And the poor pig has 1 shield, 6. 10 minus 6 is 4. He goes down again. And now I need to try to finish him off. I have 3 dice left. I can do this. I'll try to roll a 4 or higher. I fail. 3rd attack, 4 or higher. I hit, and he's down, so he's automatically killed. And he's got 1 die left. He cannot activate, so instead he'll move here, and on his next turn he'll try to activate it. That leaves my bounty hunter. What happens on her turn? Do not roll a 1. Come on. All right, an enemy will activate again. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. The destroyer pig activates. He gets, I put 1 in here, but it comes out. So he gets 4 dice, 2 to move, 1 to try to activate. He does not. And then another 1 to move towards us. So these pigs are coming out of the woods. All right. So she activated. So being that she's got the crossbow and she can see him, she gets 4 dice. I will try to shoot with the 2. I got a 7, that hits, plus 3 damage, 8 on shield pig. He has 2 armor. 4 plus 2 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. He has 4 health, so he is down to 2 health. And I'm sorry, that's not the shield pig. That is the... Oh, that is the shield pig, sorry. Shield pig has 4, so he's got 2 health left, and he's not critically wounded. She has 2 dice left. She'll move forward and try to activate. She needs a 5 or a 6. I got it. All right, so we're tied 3-3. That is the end of the hero phase. Now it's their turn. All right, let's start with this guy. Shield pig gets 3 dice. This is not activated, so he will try to activate it. He'll do 1 to move here. He'll try to activate. He did. All right. Oh no, he can't because I activated it. Never mind. So he will move right at me. So he starts with 3. He spent 2, but he gets 1 back because he did a charge. And he has the hand weapon. He can roll a 4 or higher. He misses. And he can do a gore for a 3 or higher. And he misses. All right. And he's got 2 health left. This guy gets 3. That is my destroyer pig. He will spend 2 to charge my Lone Guard commander. He gets a bonus die for the charge. And he is onslaught. He needs a 4 or higher. He misses. He gets a 2nd attack, 4 or higher, and he misses. All right, that is the end of the enemy phase. Cleanup phase, I need a recovery phase. Try to roll a 6 to recover him. He fails again. Cleanup, this goes away. And now it is my turn again. Who do I want to activate? Let's do the Lone Guard Commander. What happens on his turn? 4. Excellent. Gamble, taunt, or sneak attack. I'm engaged, so I can't do either, but he gets 5 dice. He will spend 2 with a focus to try to do tireless onslaught. He needs a 4 or higher. He got it. What's the damage? 3 plus 4 is 7. Plus 4 is 7. The Destroyer Pig has 2 armor. 1 plus 2 is 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. Destroyer Pig has 4. He is down. Lone Guard Commander has 3 dice left. I will spend 1 to move around the stone and charge this guy. I have 1 attack left. I get a bonus die. I will use it to attack. I need a 4 or higher. I got it. How much damage? 5 plus 4 is 9. Shield Pig has 2 armor. 5 plus 2 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. He goes down. Lone Guard has 2 dice left. He will spend 1 to move here, and he'll spend 1 to try to activate. He did. I go up to 4. I need 1 more. And all that's left is my Bounty Hunter. She gets to activate. Actually, she's still got to roll to see what happens. I rolled a 4. There are no enemies, so she can do this. She's going to have to move to another stone. She gets 4. She can move 3 inches. That's 8. So it will take 3 dice to move all the way here, and she gets 1 chance to roll a 5 or 6. And she failed, but that's okay. It's all right. All right, she is done. Lone Commander's done. It is now recovery phase. I've got 1, 2, 3 down, so let's see. Let's start with my guy. 6 to recover. I failed. This pig's shield recovers on a 5 or 6. He does. He recovers. He stands back up with 1 health. And this other pig is my Destroyer Pig. He only recovers on a 6. And he fails. That is the end of the turn. Man, these guys just keep coming back to life. All right, let's do this. I can win this game by activating her, and if I get a stone activated, the rules say that when 5 activations, the enemy flees. So let's activate the Bounty Hunter first and see what happens. Where did my die go? Oops. All right, 5 or, come on, 3 or higher. I got a 2, which is attack. 1 random enemy triggers. Well, the only enemy is this one. This one's down. So this enemy gets 2 dice because he's critically wounded. He will spend 1 to charge, so he gets a bonus die. And that is Shield Pig. He will do a hand weapon of 4 or higher hits. He does hit. How much damage? 4 plus 3 is 7. My Lone Guard Commander has 2 armor. 4 plus 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. He is down to 4 health. 4 health. All right. Also, it says 1 random enemy triggers. If there are 2 or fewer enemies, there are 2. One's down, but he's still here. Spawn 1. If unengaged, add 1 ID to the move for moving only. So he was able to move. So, but there is still 1 in there. And who did I say? I said her. All right, so she gets 4 dice. 2 are required to shoot at this guy. So that leaves me 2 chances to roll a 5 or 6. Let's do it. 5, fail. 1 more chance. Come on. Fail. All right, I'll spend these last 2 to shoot at this pig. I need a 4 or higher. I got double 6s. I wish that was a crit. How much damage? 5 plus 3 is 8. His armor is plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. That leaves 3 damage. He is down again. That leaves my Lone Guard Commander, but he still, before he activates, he has to roll this dice. A 3 is gamble. I'm not gambling anything. I'm just going to try to activate that stone. I get 5 chances. Chance number 1. I did it. All right. So I go up to 5. They would flee, but you know what? I'm sick of these guys. I'm going to finish them off. I'm going to spend 1 to move, and I'm going to spend 1 to attack. I need a 4 or higher. I hit. He's gone. And I've got 2 left. I can spend 2 to move to this guy. And if I hit, and this is my 3rd attack, so if I hit a 4 or higher, he's dead. He's dead. So I wiped them all out, and I managed to get 5 victory points to take the game. Man, that was fun. I will tell you, that was fun. My heart is beating fast because, man, these pigs just kept coming. All right, well, I didn't lose him. He doesn't die. He will recover at the end of the game. So all 3 of my heroes come to the center and they give each other high fives. They take their victory, and that is the game. All right, I hope you liked this. Now, this is the solo version of Ancient Waystones. The solo version, the version in the book, the rule book, is a 2-player game. I have converted this to a 1-player game. You can certainly take my solo rule sheet and modify it as you like. You can make it harder, make it easier. If you want to make it harder, what you do is you have more action dice go into here to the pool, and more of the rolls will give these dice to the bad guys. But I think I've got this fairly well balanced. I think I have. I mean, they came in with 4 versus 3, and my rolls were just sort of lucky in that I didn't have a lot of opportunities to use these. But this game can go either way. I mean, it really can. If you have some bad rolls and the enemy has some good rolls, you're in trouble. But playing the game on a 2x2, as you can see, it gets to the action much faster. It's a much more intense game. I was trying to do some sneaky-this there, but the game sort of took a turn and allowed me to just sort of gang up in the middle. Having that ranged, actually 2 with ranged attacks, definitely helpful. I'm not sure if I want to do that again on the next one, because they have a ranged attack that uses typically more dice, at least with the bounty hunter. It leaves fewer dice for other things. So I don't know. I'll have to think about that. All right, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this. This was my 2x2 foot solo Ancient Waystones game of Relicblade by Sean Sutter. I hope you liked it. I'll be back again very soon, probably in about 2 weeks, with another solo conversion of another scenario. I don't know if I'm going to go in order or if I'll just jump around to whatever seems interesting to me, but I definitely welcome your feedback. I would love to know what you think about this. If you like my solo rules, if you have any suggestions for improving it, let me know. Again, this is all subjective. It's just based on my experience playing the game and trying to come up with something I thought would be fun. You can make it easier, you can make it harder, or you can play it exactly as I have created in my own solo rules. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again very soon. Until then, everybody, take care.